I'm 99.9% sure that abs are the most desired muscle to have visible on your physique. If you go to any random gym and ask the majority of the people there what their goal is, I'm willing to bet that they're most of the time all on the quest to get a set of six-pack abs. But even though that the majority of the people are trying to get six-pack abs, there's still a lot of misinformation being spread out there that can actually hinder your progress. It can even get up to a point that it's such misinformation that it's actually preventing you from getting a set of six-pack abs. It's often a case of people telling people what they want to hear, and you can actually see this a lot in celebrity shows or TV shows, and not people telling them what they need to hear. And in this video, I'm going to be telling you exactly what you need to hear in order to see your abs, develop your abs, and make the process a lot easier and more sustainable. Quick disclaimer, I'm not going to be telling you to do 100 and 1000 crunches. I'm not going to be telling you to just eat clean foods. I'm actually going to be giving you guys the basics on what you need to know and what you need to apply to your gym journey in order to lose fat on your belly, develop your six-pack abs, and get them to show without too much unnecessary effort. So first off, let's go over the anatomy of the abdominal musculature. We have the rectus abdominis, the external obliques, the internal obliques, and the transverse abdominis. Now all of these four muscles make up the complete set of six-pack abs, but the primary muscle that's mostly targeted when training abs, and which is the most desired muscle to lose fat from, is the rectus abdominis. The rectus abdominis is the muscle that's most commonly referred to as the six-pack. The basic function of the rectus abdominis is to flex the trunk, increase abdominal pressure, and stabilize the pelvis. But in order to train the six-pack correctly, you need to perform exercises that put emphasis on flexion of the lumbar spine. But before we're going to be diving into training, we're first going to be covering diet. Abs are revealed in the kitchen. And that is definitely true, since you can do all the crunches you want, you can do all the leg raises you want, bicycle kicks, planks, you name it, name any type of exercise that you want that targets the abs. You need to have a low enough body fat to actually have a visible set of abs. So how should you approach your diet? Well, it's actually very simple. In order to lose fat, you need to be in a caloric deficit. And the way to achieve that is to take your maintenance amount of calories. Now there are lots of calculators out there on the internet, and I'll actually link one in the description down below, or I'll link to a video in the cards in this video in the top right corner that will take you to a video in which I explain you exactly how to track your macros and how to calculate your maintenance calories for as well a bulk as a cut. So you have your maintenance amount of calories, and to start off your dieting phase in order to get six-pack abs, you're going to be eating at a 500 calorie deficit. This will put you at a caloric deficit and will result in you losing around 1 pound or a half a kilogram per week. Now whether you want six-pack abs or just want to lose some weight, it's never the goal to lose as much weight as possible in the shortest amount of time. Slow and steady wins the race, so you're actually better off taking a slow and steady approach that will actually allow you to lose body fat and not lose body fat and muscle, or just lose muscle mass during the entire process. Now another quote that you've most likely heard like 1000 times already: it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. So pick a slow and steady approach with a 500 calorie deficit and adjust your calories once you hit a fat loss plateau. So what do you do once you've hit a fat loss plateau? Since that will always happen once you start eating at a caloric deficit, since our metabolism will adapt to the calories that we're giving it. So say your maintenance is around 3000 calories and you've been eating 2500 calories for 2 or 3 weeks. If you've hit a fat loss plateau at that point and you're not losing any weight anymore, then decrease your calories by 100. Now you might be thinking, well Gino, 100 calories is a way too slow adjustment. But if you look at the total of the week, you're actually decreasing your calories by 700 for the total of the week. Now your best bet will probably be to decrease your carb intake, since if your fat is already at the minimum amount for optimal hormonal production and your protein is already set at around 1 gram per pound of body weight, then the only logical choice that you have, since it's non-essential, is to decrease your carbohydrate intake. 25 grams of carbs equal 100 calories, so decrease your carbs by 25 grams once you've hit a fat loss plateau. You can also choose to add in some cardio, and if that's your preferred choice, then ensure that you're burning 700 calories for the total of the week, which will equate to the same as decreasing your calories by 100 calories per day. And then you just repeat these steps over and over again once you've hit a fat loss plateau until you're at your desired body fat percentage in order to have a set of visible abs. The next topic is exercise. Now, this might be a very logical topic, but a lot of people don't understand that you need to train your abs and actually build your abdominal musculature in order to make it easier to see your abs and have them more visible even at a higher body fat. A big mistake that a lot of people make when they're trying to get six-pack abs is that they only train their abs when they're cutting or when they're trying to lose body fat. The abs are just as much of a muscle as any other muscle in your body. They need to have a progressive stimulus, which means that you need to get stronger on your preferred exercise selection over time in order to have your abs to grow. So the best way to develop your abs is actually to be in a caloric surplus, meaning that you're above your caloric maintenance in order to build new muscle tissue, and pick exercises that allow you to apply a progressive stimulus over time. And in my opinion, the two best exercises to go for are the weighted cable crunch and the hanging leg raise. Now, the weighted cable crunch is an exercise performed at the cable station using either a rope or a close grip handle. To set up for this exercise, get on your knees about a step away from the cable station while holding the weight in your hand, and simply perform a crunch while holding the rope or handle on the top of your head. Try not to use your arm muscles during this movement, since that'll take away from the abdominal muscular activation. While doing the crunch, focus on performing flexion of the lumbar spine. This will allow you to take full advantage of the function of the rectus abdominis and stimulate those muscles to your best capability. Breathe out on the concentric motion of every rep, while breathing in on the eccentric or the stretch part of the movement. By breathing properly, you will ensure that you're actually fully stimulating the rectus abdominis, getting maximum muscular activation. It also helps to create a better mind-muscle connection with your abs, which will allow you to feel your abdominal exercises a lot better. Focus on increasing the volume on this exercise over time in order to get a stronger and more developed set of abs. Now, the next exercise is the hanging leg raise. Now, in order to set up for this exercise, try to find a pull-up bar, which enables you to hang without your feet touching the ground. And focus on lifting your legs to above 90 degrees. Again, make sure to flex the lumbar spine, or more easily said, flex the abs while using the breathing technique. So breathing out on the concentric and breathing in during the eccentric. And for this exercise, it's especially very important to focus on rounding the lower back instead of using your hip flexors to bring your legs up. Again, for any abdominal exercise, you want to target the abs and not all of the other muscles that are helping to make the movement possible. So for the cable crunch, you do not want to use your arms too much during the exercise, since that will take away from the abdominal muscular activation. And the same goes for the hanging leg raise. If you use your hip flexors too much, you will turn it more into a hip flexor exercise and less of a abdominal exercise. Now, if performing hanging leg raises is still a little bit too tough for you, then try performing them with your knees in a bent position, or simply start by performing the exercise on the ground and work your way up. Now, of course, there are lots of other exercises like the ab roller, the plank, the decline crunch, and so forth. As long as you're performing your preferred exercise selection and ensuring that you're making progress on those exercises, you will strengthen the abs to your best capability. As long as you're performing a normal crunch type movement and a movement when you're bringing your legs closer to your body. So now that we know how to approach our diet and our training, let's go over the steps that you need to make in order to have a visible set of abs. Now, as I mentioned when covering the diet part, you need to make the correct adjustments to your approach in order to continuously make progress. It's not about the specific foods you eat or the specific exercises that you're doing, as long as you're looking at the big picture. Ensure that you're losing fat and losing weight on a slow and consistent basis. Ensure that you're making the proper adjustments. So once you've hit a fat loss or weight loss plateau, decrease your calories by 100 or add 700 calories of cardio for the total of the week in a slow but gradual manner. Also ensure that you're not dropping your calories way too drastically at the beginning of your dieting phase to allow for more and longer progression over time. And be sure to strengthen and develop the abs through your preferred exercise selection by applying a progressive stimulus over time on your preferred exercise selection. So by following all of these steps on a consistent basis, you will be on your way to get a developed, visible set of six-pack abs. Alright, and that is all for this video, guys. I sincerely hope you all enjoyed. If you have any questions regarding ab training or getting your abs to be visible, then please let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed the video and got anything from it, then please consider smashing the like button because it really helps out the channel grow. Comment down below, subscribe to the channel, and turn post notifications on for so much more content coming really soon. I'm out, guys, and peace out. See you in the next one.